Once upon a time, in a big bright village filled with singing birds and tall dancing trees, there lived a young girl named Kiyamaka. Kiyamaka was a special girl with a big smile and sparkly eyes. She was the only child of the richest couple in the village, Neka and Babatunde. Everyone in the village knew her and said, "Look, there goes Kiyamaka, the gem of our village." Chiamako's mother and father loved her so very much. They had a big house, the biggest one could see, with many rooms filled with laughter and love. Around the house there were farms with lots of fruits and vegetables, and fields that stretched wide under the sun. Her father owned the biggest store in the market, where people came from all over to buy things. They had shiny jewels that twinkled like stars, and soft clothes that felt like the touch of a cloud. Chiamaka's parents gave her everything she needed, and her heart was full of joy. Everywhere Chiamaka went, she went with her mother and father. They took her to colorful markets, to sparkling rivers, and to visit friends in nearby villages. Everyone who met Chiamaka loved her, because she was kind and sweet, just like her parents. But the best part? In Chiamaka's house there was a secret. A big secret. There was one room that nobody ever went into. Even Chiamaka didn't go in there. It was the mystery room, and it made her home feel like a castle with hidden treasures. So, in her big, beautiful house, with her loving mother and father, Chiamaka's life was like a wonderful dream. And that's how our story begins, with a girl whose life was filled with blessings, and a secret waiting to be discovered. One sunny day, something very sad happened. Chiamaka's mother, Neka, and father, Babatunde, went on a trip across the Big Blue River to visit some friends in another village. They were traveling in their canoe, the one painted with beautiful patterns and bright colors. Chiamaka didn't go with them because she was feeling a little sick, so she stayed at home resting. But that day, the river was trickier than anyone thought. It swelled and twirled, faster and wilder than usual. Neka and Babatunde tried to steer their canoe carefully, but the water was too strong. Suddenly, with a big splash, their canoe tipped over and capsized. It was a very big accident, and oh, it was so sad. Because Chiamaka's mother and father didn't come back, they went to the stars above, leaving little Chiamaka all alone. When the news reached the village, everyone felt a great sadness. Chiamaka was very, very sad. She missed her mother and father so much. Her tears fell like raindrops, and her smile was gone. The villagers who loved her parents and her came to her house. They brought her food, they hugged her, and they cried with her. To show respect for Neka and Babatunde, the people in the village did something very special. They decided to close the market for a few days. No one bought or sold anything. Instead, they remembered all the good times they had with Chiamaka's parents. They talked about how kind and generous they were, and how they made the village a brighter place. The big bright village was quiet during those days, quieter than it had ever been. The trees seemed to whisper softly, and even the birds sang gently. Everyone was mourning, showing their love for Chiamaka's family, and hoping to comfort her in her big loss. In Chiamaka's big, beautiful house, where every room was filled with laughter and love, there was one room that was different. It was the Forbidden Room. A room so secret that even Chiamaka, the little princess of the house, was never allowed to peek inside. This room had a big, old wooden door with a heavy lock that glinted in the sunlight. The key to the lock was hidden, and nobody talked about where it might be. The walls around the door were draped in colorful cloths, making it look mysterious and important. Now this wasn't just any room. Oh, no! It was a room wrapped in whispers and shadows. The older servants in the house, those who had been there since Chiamaka was just a baby, knew something about this room. They knew that it held a secret so big that it could scare the stars away from the sky. Long ago, before Chiamaka was born, there were curious servants who wondered what was behind that door. They tried to listen at the keyhole or peek under the door, but oh dear, those who tried too hard to find out the secret disappeared. Just like that. Poof. One day they were there, and the next day they were gone. Nobody knew where they went, and after a while, no one dared to talk about them anymore. The other servants whispered among themselves, "Never go near that room. If you do, you might vanish too, like the wind that disappears at the end of the day." So they just cleaned around the door, never touching it, always walking past it quickly with their heads down. Chiamaka knew about the room, of course. Her parents had told her, "That's a special room, my dear. We must never go inside. It's for the best." And because she loved and trusted her parents, Chiamaka never asked why. She just nodded, her little heart beating fast whenever she passed by the forbidden